statistical, mathematical fact
never has been down.
has broken every single record. There is no asset that has come close.
It's the only thing in the industry that was not touched, that was not hacked, and it never fails doing what it promised in 2009. It's never
What's
failed.
the best performing asset the world has ever seen?
Bitcoiners.
You'll find out that it's
Bitcoiners. Happy Sunday. This is the first post-halving Sunday. Happy Sunday. Haha. Surprise. Yes, another live session. We're going to talk about my favorite topic. As you know, that's Bitcoin. Come on in. Make yourselves comfortable. Grab the beverage of your choice. Glad to see you. So come on in, guys. Make yourselves comfortable. I just wanted to, since I had some time, I just wanted to basically have an open Q&A. A lot of times when I do my live sessions, guys, I tend to come to you with a preconceived idea, a topic, a subject matter to delve into, and I do my best to take questions either during that presentation or during that talk or after. But every now and then I think it's productive just to have no specific topic that you talk about and just to take open questions, just in case anything's on your mind, just in case a lot of times during my more directed talks with you, you have questions that are simply not related to the topic at hand, or that you did not get an opportunity to slip in to one of my past talks. But if you have anything on your mind, preferably about Bitcoin, please let's use this session here. I want to welcome everyone. I want to thank you for coming live. Even I want to thank those of you who did not make this talk live, but actually are listening to this talk or this live Q&A session in a recorded form. Please keep in mind that all of my live talks, whether they are audio-based or video-based, they do wind up on my Bitcoin podcast entitled Bitcoin Unleashed. Please search that out. You can find Bitcoin Unleashed on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify, on Google, on Apple, on Fountain app. You know, you pick the podcasting platform of choice, but get over there, get over to one of them, search out Bitcoin Unleashed with that title or my name, Oliver Velez. And if you find anything that we have to talk about today of interest, and I'm sure you'll find the hours and weeks and months of endless talks and conversations and sessions on our favorite topic, Bitcoin. So let's go. Guys, my name is Oliver Velez, and what am I trying to do here? Trying to raise all of our level of sophistication regarding Bitcoin. Bitcoin is that extraordinarily rare thing that has come into the existence of human civilization that we can't quite yet put our finger on. It is so massive in scope. We don't have proper definitions into which Bitcoin fits. We try to call it a money, but it's more than money. We try to call it a protocol, and it is, but it's more than a protocol. We try to characterize Bitcoin as an asset, but but it's more than an asset. We have labeled it a commodity without an issuer, and it is, but it's more than that. We have tried to call it a currency. It is, and it's more than that. We've even tried to label it a cryptocurrency. And in a way it is, but it's more than that. We try to call it an invention, and that's not quite correct, maybe in a very small way. So yes, but it's more than that. We've also tried to call it a discovery. It's more of a discovery than an invention, but it's more than that. We've labeled it freedom, and it is, but it's more than that. Some people have actually gone to the point of calling it hope, and it is, but it's more than that. So this is so unique that we have not learned how to define it. It's so early since its birth in the grand scheme of things that we can't even fathom today the use cases for this alien thing that will take place in the future. Very much like the internet when it came into existence. When the internet started to become available to everyone, it was 1994. And I instantly began using the internet in 1994. And a lot of people don't realize, guys, that the internet was basically illegal to use for commercial purposes until 1994. It was in universities, and yes, you started to have some access to what's called the World Wide Web. All the way back, in the late 1980s, early 1990s, I used CompuServe and communicated with people in different parts of the United States largely. But to use the internet in a commercial way, in a way that might serve others, that was made legal in 1994. I instantly began using it in that way. So I was an early adopter of the internet. But I remember in my very early use, many people could not figure out what this thing was going to be used for. Yeah, you can chat with people, and you could pretty much send a note to people. So you could communicate by sending notes to people. But many people could not fathom at that time, what is its use case? In fact, I was one of the first organizations in my industry. All right, I'm a Wall Street professional. I started my career in 1986. And in 1994, branched off on my own, left the Wall Street world to start my own Wall Street oriented firm, an advisory firm for other Wall Street firms. And I remember that a periodical, a paper that was owned by the Wall Street Journal, interviewed me because they discovered a company in the financial realm that found some use case for this new technology called chat. That's right. I was interviewed by the Wall Street Journal back in the mid 1990s. Someone finally found a use case for chat, this brand new technology. And what I was doing was I had gotten several thousand traders from all over the world piped into me. And these traders subscribed to having access to every single thing I was doing in the markets, but closer to real time. This was impossible before the internet came into play. I had firms, entities, hedge funds, trading operations in various banks or what have you, that were all piped into me. And this is in the mid 1990s. And so in this interview, they list how I was using this brand new technology called chat and what fees I was actually charging firms to gain access to me. And it was so unique and so strange that the gist of the article was, well, I guess there is a way to maybe do business with this thing called the internet. We could not fathom at that time that this new open protocol for the world would have an effect on every single corner of our lives. Today, the internet, you can't do anything in your life for the most part without the internet. It has changed the way we live every aspect of our lives. And this is where I think we are in the Bitcoin adoption curve. We're at that very beginning where it's like, what is this thing and what is it going to actually do? And it's so unique and so different that we have nothing to categorize it by. And it is for this reason that so many have still not decided to venture down an investigative path or to start going down the rabbit hole, because it's just so different. So we're here to basically learn in real time, to grow in our understanding of what this is, and to be proud of the fact that, just like me in 1994, we are wrapping our, or at least attempting to wrap our hands around this thing very, very early. Less than half of 1% of the world has Bitcoin, and that is extraordinarily early. We have missed nothing, but the window of opportunity is closing for the true early adopters that will wind up being the greatest beneficiaries of this brand new thing. The entire race will forever be a beneficiary as far as Bitcoin is concerned. But there's that window of time where the earliest adopters, those who have faith and belief and a heightened understanding about something so radically important for the human race, they get the biggest reward. That is where we are right now. And we can be proud that we are operating with Bitcoin today in that window of time where we are going to be the greatest beneficiaries. That window is closing. The same way someone can start up a business on the internet today, and that business will be benefited by the internet, but not like Jeff Bezos, who adopted the internet before people even knew what it was. Do you understand? We're in the Jeff Bezos window of time still. People can still benefit from the internet, but not like Jeff Bezos. That era is gone. We're in the Jeff Bezos period, and we should be proud of that. All right, guys, what questions do you have here? Carbo is obviously very new to me, my talks. It's dripping. His newness is dripping from his question, but it's okay. Being new is okay. His question is, would I sell Bitcoin for alts during alt season to get back with more BTC later? Let me ask you this. As a freed prisoner, you've been locked up most of your life as a prisoner, and you get free. On the way out of the gates, you turn and would you ever ask the guard at the gate of the prison, do you think at one point it's going to be good to give up my freedom, come back to prison and then wait for a better time to get free again? That's what your question is unconsciously pointing to. I am free. Bitcoin is freedom. I am free from monetary debasement. I am free from the theft of my time in my life. I am free from a money that I am forced and compelled to work for. I'm free from confiscation. I'm free from theft. When is it appropriate for me to sell that freedom? Go to what is not free again. Come back and then come back to freedom. This is a direct result of not understanding what Bitcoin is. And this is not strange. The majority of people are here. They look at Bitcoin as just another financial asset to play around with, right? And no, this is why we're here, to raise our level of knowledge, understanding, and level of sophistication to understand this is not another asset. This is not another item that fits in a basket of other items. Everything else that we have in life has a leak in it. Do you understand? Do you understand what a leak in it? I want you to imagine that every single thing that you have available to you is a boat. Okay. So stocks are is a boat. The bonds are a boat. So there's the boat bond. There's the bond boat. Okay. There's the stock boat. There's the fiat currency boat, US dollar. There's a US dollar boat. There's the Argentinian peso boat. There's the Japanese yen boat. There's the Lebanese, what is it? Anyway, you know what I'm saying. The Lebanese currency boat. There's a Mexican peso boat. There's a Canadian dollar boat. All of these are individual boats. You have the gold boat. You have everything that's available to us is a boat. But every single boat that we've ever had access to has a leak. Now, these boats, they're all leaking. They're all sinking. All of them. Yes, gold too. Gold is sinking. Now, they're sinking at different rates. So the US dollar boat is sinking, but it's sinking slower than the Turkish lira. The Turkish lira boat is sinking much faster. The Venezuelan boat is practically underwater. It's sinking so fast and it's sunk so fast. The Argentinian peso is sinking faster than the euro, but they're all sinking. Bitcoin is the only thing, the first thing that's come into our existence that does not have a leak. It is thermodynamically sealed forever, for life, for eternity. It doesn't lose a single iota of itself. No human being can punch a hole in it. And so it stays afloat forever. Now, what your question is saying is, when do I jump to a leaky boat again? I am in the safest boat. I'm in the boat with no leak. But when do I leave the boat with no leak for another boat with a leak in it, and then come back to the boat with no leak? It is the lack of understanding that Bitcoin is the lifeboat with no leak whatsoever. And if you don't really, truly understand this, let me demonstrate it for you. If you'll allow me, will you allow me? Will you allow me for all of you, not just Carbo? Can I show you the leaks? Please tell me. I want to see, because if you tell me no, I'm not going to show you. Just tell me. Can I show you the leaks? Can I quickly do that? Yes? Carbo, good. I like that. That's my man. That's my man. I love it. Let's do it. I want to do this. So let me show you how every other asset, for the most part, I'm going to show you with a handful. You'll get the point. Is leaking. Boom. Now, you can't tell me that what you see here is a leaky boat. If you eliminate the noise, people, let me get my epic pen up here. If you eliminate the noise, right, what you'll see, let's eliminate the noise, you'll see this. That's not a leaky boat. Now, let me show you something. Let's take this time frame. Let's take a 5-month time. Let's take a 5-month time frame. Now, I want to show you, in comparison to Bitcoin, how much is gold leaking against Bitcoin. So we're going to price gold in Bitcoin. Let me show you the leak in gold. Okay. We're going to do gold, Sats, USD. Okay. That's what we're going to do. You see it? Now look at where Bitcoin was born. Gold was rising like this until Bitcoin was born. As soon as Bitcoin's born, gold begins to crash against Bitcoin. What you're looking at here, people, is gold leaking. Bitcoin came into the world to show you the truth of what your leaky boats, the boats you thought were giant yachts, you're sunbathing on them, you're barbecuing on your yacht, you think life is good, and Bitcoin is saying, wait a minute, it's time to stop being duped. It's time to stop being fooled. You're on a sinking boat. You're going to die. Let me show you. And Bitcoin is showing you. This is the leak in gold. I'm not making this up, guys. This is not my chart. All right. Do you see that? Tell me if you see that. Do you see that? Somebody just say yes, and I'll go to the next one. Just very quickly. I want to make sure you're still live with me. Carbo, do you see the leak in gold? Do you see what's happening with gold when you look at it through the eyes of Bitcoin? Carbo, oh, Carbo. Hello, Carbo, Carbo, Carbo. Are you there? See it? Yes? You still with us? All right, cool. He's not answering, but I'm assuming yes. All right. Let's go. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Let's keep looking at the other leagues. All right. You say, well, Oliver, you know, what about, I don't know, what else do we look at? Let's look at the US dollar. All right, we're going to look at the US dollar. This is DXY. It's called Dixie for short, right? Like the disc Dixie. DXY Sats USD, right? See that symbol? Boom. Here is the US dollar's leaky boat. Do you see it falling apart? Do you see it collapsing? Do you see your dollar, the strongest currency in the world, the king, the world's reserve currency? Oh, what a title. This picture, people, is the picture of your life melting away. You wake up every day of your life with the dollar on your mind. Most of the days you think all day long in dollars. How much does it cost? What am I going to earn? What's the fee for that? Wow, did you see how much he's worth? Your whole life is dominated by dollars. You go to work for another man. Most of you work for other men, which Bitcoin can free you from. But you work for another man. Another man tells you what to do. Another man tells you you need to be here by this time and you need to stay here by this time. He tells you what he's going to pay you. Another man. This is what you call freedom. Another man pays you in this. And meanwhile, what you are giving your life for, which is your time is the stuff that life is made up of, right? So if you're working 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week to make that, you are giving your time in exchange for your time, which is your life, right? You've only got a certain amount of time, which makes up your life, no? So you're giving your time, which is your life. You're giving your life to another man for this. And look at your life. Just take a look at it while I take a sip of my electrolytes. Look at your life. The incredible shrinking man. I'm shrinking. Do anybody remember the what was it? Am I dating myself here? Am I too old? Anybody remember The Wizard of Oz? I'm shrinking. All right. Any boat. What other boat do you want to see? Oh, wait a minute. But Oliver, if I put my money in the S&P 500, I would have been great. Oh, really? You think so? Let's take a look at the S&P, shall we? Shall we? Let's look at the S&P boat. SPY SATS USD. There you go. I'll wait. You see, people, until Bitcoin came on the scene, nothing else could show us the leaks. They were hidden. Do you see what I'm saying? The leaks were hidden. They were hiding the leaks from us. The trick was on us. Our lives, our very lives were being leaked away. Our very lives were being sucked away from us, but ever so quietly, ever so gradually, ever so stealthily. It is Bitcoin that came on the scene that said, look, I got a secret. Look, your life is leaking. We've been duped. We've been shamboozled. Do you understand? We've been tricked. We've been freaking robbed. We've been taught our whole lives. From the moment you wake up, you are to get educated. You are to get skilled. Why? To work for this. You are to go out and go into debt. Why? To get a great education and go into debt. Why? So that you can work for another man to earn this. Don't you want to work for another man to earn that? To earn that leaky boat? You see, so it's like when at first we were taught just to work for this, the dollar, right? This is what your grandparents were taught. Your grandparents were taught, got that wrong. Dixie Sats USD. Okay, so your grandparents was taught to save, work for dollars and save for the future. Without you knowing, this is what you're saying. This is what's happening to your savings, which represents the time that you gave for it. Time is your life, which means it represents your life. Your life is sinking. Do you understand? So your grandparents were taught to save. When it became obvious that savings doesn't work, then the game was changed on you, right? It says, oh, don't save, invest. You see, because the cat was out of the bag about savings, that didn't work. It was proven mathematically, it just doesn't work. So when the cat was out of the bag, they could no longer say, well, can't tell him to save now. I have an idea. I got it. Let's kick the can down the road and tell them it's not savings. You got to invest. You got to become a hedge fund manager. I know you work 65 hours a week, but on top of all of that, on top of working 65 hours a week, you have to now dedicate more time to become a freaking hedge fund manager. You've got to become an educated investor. Yes, now that's your responsibility. I know we told you to go to school, get educated so that you can work for another man for the dollar and save the dollars. No, that doesn't work anymore. You still have to work for another man to earn the dollars, but now you got to take the dollars that are dropping and leaking, and you'll get ahead now on top of that if you invest. Now become expert investors, people. That's how you stay ahead. And then that game started to come in play. Do you understand? And so think about this, guys. You're told that on top of, and we accepted this, on top of me trying to become an expert at what I do, an expert plumber, an expert accountant, you understand? An expert teacher. I dedicate a big portion of my life to be an expert there. Now I have to be an expert here in the global financial freaking markets. That's what you're telling me? We were tricked. And somebody will say, well, okay, well, you know, you don't want to become an investor? Well, I got another game for you. Why don't you become a real estate mogul? Yeah, because saving is not going to cut it. So you got to put this declining dollar somewhere. So if you're not going to put it in stocks, put it in real estate. Because you want to become a hedge fund manager? You want to become a global investment manager? All right, then fine. Put it in real estate, right? Let's take a look at real estate, shall we? Want to see the real estate boat? All right, okay, I'll show it to you. Let me see if I can find this thing. Let's see, give me a minute. B&Q, SATS, B&Q, SATS, USD. Boom! There's your real estate boat. Now stare at it while I take a sip. Oh, Harbo. Harbo. You want to get out of Bitcoin and go to this? You want to go to a shitcoin? There have been 65,000 shitcoins since Bitcoin. 65. They're counting. They proliferate every single day. 65 different copies. How many successes? How many? How many successes? Is there anything finished? Is there any project that has any success? Is there anything that's outside of the promise, outside of the marketing? Well, it's going to do this. We hear a lot of that. But is out of 65,000 attempts, look at this record. Zero. Zero, people. Zero. Everything is just a promise. It's a piece of paper. It's a freaking white paper, which they got from Satoshi. Let's do a white paper. And let's say it's going to do this better than Bitcoin and that better than Bitcoin. They're all freaking, and they're the fastest leaking boats. 65,000, zero. 95+% are zero today. Zero. That's what you want to, you want to skip to, you want to get out of freedom, the thing with no leak, the thing that is the best performing asset on planet Earth over the past 15 years, over the past 10 years, the best thing that has ever happened, the thing that has outperformed every single thing that human beings have regarded dear, the safest protocol that the world has ever known, the only thing on planet Earth that cannot be controlled, touched, confiscated, debased, stolen by another human being, organization, country, or nation state. The only thing we have, you want to leave that for this? Are you getting what I'm saying? Every boat is leaking. Let me show you something really interesting, however. I want to show you gold, okay? I just want to show you gold, but I want to show you gold, people. Listen to me carefully. I want to show you gold, right? Through the lie. I want to show you gold through the lie. Okay, can I? I'm going to show you. Here's gold through the lie. There you go. This is gold through the lie. Impressive. Very impressive. That is through the lie. all-time new highs. That is through the line. When you look at gold through the truth, all right, gold. So I want to show you something first, though. You see how this is gold via the US dollar. That's the lie. The US dollar is the lie. Do you understand? So you're looking, the second one is the glasses. The first one is the item. So the same way, guys, that I am, look at me carefully, the same way that, right, I have these glasses on, right? I can put the US dollar glasses on to look at gold. Or I can take the Bitcoin glasses and look at gold. The dollar glasses, that's not the truth. Bitcoin is revealing the truth. But let me put the US dollar glasses on and look at gold. And that's it. That's the US dollar glasses. Now, when I take the dollar glasses off and I do the same, guys, the same symbol, GOLD. You see the symbol there? GOLD. Now I'm going to look at GOLD via the glasses of Bitcoin. GOLD. See the symbol? Slash, I'm going to change the glasses from the US dollar to to Bitcoin. Sats USD. That's the symbol for all of Bitcoin's history. See, Satoshi all-time history. With BTC, you don't get the full history. But with this symbol, SATS, Sats USD, you get the entire history. So we need the entire history. Here's the glasses of Bitcoin. We're being tricked. We're being lied to. You understand? And so when we put the proper glasses on now, we finally have the proper glasses. We finally have the truth. And we see what's really happening now. Remember I mentioned the Wizard of Oz? You know? Remember I mentioned the Wizard of Oz? That's right. In a world full of lies, Bitcoin is the truth. That's correct. Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy and her crew they were searching for the Wizard of Oz to give them the truth and to provide the answers to what they felt they needed. And when they finally discovered the Emerald City and they found Oz and lifted the curtain, what they saw was a lie. What they saw was the truth, which made them realize everything was a lie. Bitcoin is that allows us to lift the curtain and see Oz for what he is. He's a liar. We've been lied to this whole time. And of course, the people living in the Emerald City, they still believe in Oz. But those few, Dorothy and those few, found the truth. That is very true, Alan. Once you see this, guys, you understand? You can't unsee it ever again. You can't ever see it. You can't ever unsee this, guys. And my function is to help you see it if you haven't seen it before. That is my whole function, is to say, let me show you the curtain. Come here. Let's peek. It's a lie. All right. Let me show you gold. Now let's put different glasses on, right? Let's take the Bitcoin glasses off and let's look at money supply glasses. It's always good to measure things against the money supply because that's what you're racing against. Do you understand? You're racing against the money supply. If you're not outpacing, excuse me, guys, if you're not winning against money supply, your life is melting. You got to stay ahead of money supply. So it's always good to put the money. Let's put the money supply glasses on and measure gold through the money supply. So I'm going to take, let me show you here. I'm going to take M2SL. That's the symbol for money supply. M2SL. All right. That's the money supply. See, you see what it says? M2 money stock. So stock supply, same shit. This is produced by the Federal Reserve. Do you see that all the way to the right? Federal Reserve produces this, right? All right. M2 money supply. And we're going to do SATs, USD. Boom. I'm sorry. We're doing it against gold. That's the money supply. Bitcoin is beating the money supply. But let me just show you gold against the money supply. All right. So we're going to do gold against M2SL. So remember, we're now looking at gold. The second item is the glasses. The glasses, the second item is looking at the first item, gold. Okay. Boom. Look. Wait a minute. Boom. There it is. That is looking at gold. Remember, gold is the item you're looking at. The second symbol is the glasses. We're taking the glasses of M2 money supply, M2SL. All right. And we're taking M2SL and we're looking at gold. Now, when you look at gold through the M2SL figure, is gold outperforming the money supply? No, but gold is it. But Oliver, that's what the naysayers say, you know. But Oliver, gold's at an all-time new high. Gold is rocking. Gold's at an all-time new high. I don't give a shit. Look at what it's doing in relationship to the freaking M2 money supply. This is what your life's supposed to be outperforming. You got to outperform money supply. Otherwise, you are underwater, buddy. You're drowning. Gold's got to go a long way to start outperforming the money supply. You're losing. Remember, that all-time new high picture is through the glasses of the lie. Right? It's powerful. Hugely so. Are you following what I'm saying, guys? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Tell me, a few of you let me know. I want to see. Let me know. Yes? You sure? Calvin says yes. Well, okay. All right. Cool. Cal says 100,000 is approaching. Oliver's going to ghost us like Satoshi. I don't know about totally ghost you. It's just I can't do it this level for sure. totally ghost you, no. But I'm leaving behind as much as I possibly can. As I've always told you, I try to talk about things that are rather evergreen in nature, right? So these things will be relevant for many years to come. And so you'll always be able to come back to the talks, the podcast, the this, the post, or what have you. And it'll always mean something. It'll always be valuable. I made a conscious effort to do that. All right. That is very true. Stop being scared. Adapt to the truth, or die with regret. All right. Very true. I love this, guys. Harold BTC says, when it hits 1,000, you have to do a live stream and just disappear right in the middle of the live stream. Boom. I love that, guys. I love that. We have to look at assets through money supply and Bitcoin. So remember these two glasses that you should judge everything by. You know? Now, guys, one of the best performing assets over the past 10 years is NVIDIA, right? So let's take a look at NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA has done better than most, of course. And so for the last few years, it's been holding well. You see that? Whoa. Now that's very impressive. But it is, give me a second here. It's been holding well. I mean, it's been basically holding steady for 5 years. But it's about to go down. It's about to go down. I'm telling you, this will break to new lows. Oh, yes, it will. And so I just want you to get in the habit, right? I want you to get in the habit, guys, of taking the proper glasses. You have 3 glasses now. The US dollar, which is what you are doing most of your looking through. You have the dollar, you have Bitcoin now, and you have M2SL, M2 money supply. And you got to get in the habit of looking at all 3, and it will change your life. All right? It will change your life if you do this. Okay? I appreciate that, Alan Wise. Oliver, you do a fantastic job and you are much appreciated. I will miss you at 100,000. Yes, I'll miss you guys too. Well, a little bit. A tiny bit. All right. All right. Anyway, guys, look, I just wanted to, I know I spent a lot of time on that, but I think I was fortunate enough to get a fairly decent, my light's dying here. A fairly decent opportunity. I got a fairly decent point to go into something that I think is educational, very powerful, and life-changing. When you look at everything through these 3 glasses, especially Bitcoin, what you're starting to do is to use Bitcoin as your unit of account. You start to realize things like that cost of what I'm about to buy is X percentage of a Bitcoin. I'm not doing it. Or this is not as good as Bitcoin because look at it priced in Bitcoin. I'm thinking about selling Bitcoin to go into this, to go into what? Everything is leaking against Bitcoin. What do you sell the item that's not leaking for if everything else that you sell it for is leaking? You don't. That's only if you're ignorant. That's only if you are blind and not looking through the proper glasses. All right, guys. I love you guys to death. I do. I want you to enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys. You know what to do. Work, go to work, stack harder. You're not stacking hard enough. At the end, by the end of 2025, by the end of 2029, by the end of 2033, these are important years. 25, 29, 25, 29, 33. I want you to remember those years. These are the important years. In each of these years, you're going to look back and say, damn it, I should have stacked harder every single time. All right. So do it now. Reward yourself now. Do what you have to do to reward yourself, your future self in 2025, your future self in 2028, and your future self in 2033. And not just yourself. Bitcoin is for your last name, not your first name. Ciao for now. Boom. My name is Oliver Velez, and I am your 13%er Bitcoiner. Be safe out there, and until next time. Boom!